Alsjeblieft, ik ga voor iemand prijs. Ik kan morgen trom doen, maar liever na die man. Nou, kom eens heel aan het na.
Hello, doggy. Are you coming on neighborhood patrol too?
Man. Ai. Gaan live met die mensen. Als ik kan live gaan met jullie, dan zal ik je maaien. Want ik is nog geen oudje. Ik is 60, maar ik is nog geen oudje. Oud maar nog geen oudje.
Hello everyone, I'm with Lillian here. Lillian, please explain what you do.
I was elected as the CPF neighborhood watch coordinator. Once a month we have a combined patrol, including all our stakeholders, security companies, police, etc. And then we also have monthly meetings. Thank you very much. Not usually.
So John, tell us, what's this like? You've just done a full day's work of work. Now you've got to walk around, do neighbourhood watch.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the same thing that all of these people on the neighbourhood watch have had to do. They've all put in a full day's work, and yet they're out here on the evening patrolling the streets to keep them safe. And I think that, showing support and solidarity with them is very important.
Well, it's quite amazing to see that you're walking through what I wouldn't describe as the safest neighbourhood, and I suppose everybody thinks that you always live in a lap of luxury. So it's nice to see you on the ground floor.
Oh, it's great to be on the ground floor. And this is why politicians lose touch with people on the ground. I mean, most of the government don't care about crime because they're surrounded by lots of bodyguards. They never have to experience what it's like to be fearful of your safety.
Ik is paranoid en ik slaap niet nacht, want als ik iets hoor als ik op. Als ik wakker nou loer ik, maar ik kan niet precies zien wie is die persoon. So, ik kan niet namen noemen, want ik zie elke dag aan gezicht.
Maar die feit is dan is nie 'n voertuig waar daar 'n registrasie nou moet sê die ouens dank aan die wheelie bins. So there's the problem. So we have to tell law enforcement to become a lot more aggressive with wheelie bins. Arrest everybody we see with a wheelie bin and charge them for theft. Because removing the wheelie bin from the property is theft.
So why did you get involved in the neighbourhood watch?
Because they were breaking in 7th Street, most of the houses.
What does it mean to you to have leader of the opposition, John, and the mayor of Cape Town with you?
It feels great. We feel like we are walking on the air.
John, nice to meet you. One of my guys. Hello. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. Nice to see you. Good.
He's one of the guys that litter so around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with the wheelie bins.
Okay. Mustn't litter. What is the main drug?
Taken, they're up taken,
Taken
that, but they're up to cocaine and all that now.
Really?
1,000 rand a gram. I must know how they breaking the houses to get money for 1,000 rand a gram.
So here I'm with Stuart Pringle, who is from this area. Stuart, so I mean behind us there's people, in front of us there's people. This is Neighbourhood Watch.
Yes.
The Mayor of Cape Town is here. The leader of the DA is here.
CPFs are here.
What is going on here? What is the context in which we find ourselves?
This is really just a visibility exercise because the City of Cape Town believes sincerely in partnerships with communities and active, engaged citizenry in particular. And this is a way in which we strengthen those bonds between the people in the communities who are fighting crime, making their communities safer, and of course government. So we're actually partnering with people on the ground to make our communities safer.
That's why the house once before. It's been stripped from furniture, the roof, the windows, the doors, the toilets, everything's been stripped. There's nothing left in this house. Doing drugs here, coming out at the back, and they rob the people there. They want money for the next fix, and they come and they smoke here. And there's been some riots happening here also. Yes, so that is a big issue here.
But he's being charged. No, this will just be a accruing arrears. So part of them was an auction, and no one bought for it. No, can't demolish and rebuild.
All right, everyone. Regan, please. Who are you and what do you do?
I serve as the Provincial Minister or MEC for Community Safety and Police Oversight in the Western Cape.
So I see that you're here with the Mayor. He's behind you. You're here with John Steenhuisen, leader of the opposition. I mean, what is the role of the community itself in its own safety? Because, as we all know, SAP's a national competence.
Yes.
There's lots of problems with it. So at the end of the day, how can you empower communities to sort of not look after themselves, but at least be a barrier to
Yes.
crime and violence?
And that's exactly in terms of the whole of government approach, the whole of society approach. Whenever a community is facing crime, we can normally narrow it down that there's a breakdown of the family unit.
Right.
Once there's a breakdown of the family unit, a street breaks down, a community breaks down. So families play a vital role, communities play a vital role, but also our men need to stand up. We need to have more role models in our communities. We need to have more sporting role models. We need to make sure that that communities ultimately work together to eradicate crime. But it is a whole of government approach when all departments work together with stakeholders, with civil society in order to reduce crime.
So I'm here with Councillor Serpentine, with a C, not an S, even I was surprised. So I think a lot of viewers might think to themselves, okay, the Western Cape, we know that there's gang violence, we know there's drugs, we know that all sorts of things. Why are we focusing on littering so much?
Well, because littering is actually where the crime starts. If we have a lot of littering, it has a knock-on effect on the crime because it gives people the perception that that area is okay. It's okay to have break-ins, it's okay to do your drugs, it's okay to sit on the corner, because if the area looks the way it does, nobody cares, and that is where the crime spikes. And it's actually sad that our residents who actually do the reporting and sometimes come out anonymous even go out at night in their PJs to go and stop the perpetrators, but at the end of the day they have to fear for their own lives.
Dustbin car that we saw earlier, that loaded truck, they steal people's wheelie bins, put them here, and then the guy comes and moves it and goes and dumps it in. That's what this is all about. So now they found a guy who's got a wheelie bin and he's moving it. So they're like, oh, what are you doing?
As ik wil het zelf gesteel het man.
Maar jij is nou die
Maar ek sê die bediening.
Daar's 3 ander by jou huis. Daar's 3 ander by jou huis, meneer.
Dis wel logies man. Maar hoe gaan maak ek kom vat vir jou? Waarom hoor? Jy kan die drom vat. Jy kan die drom vat. Ek gou nie.
Maar die probleem is jy want jy gaan môre 'n ander drom vat. Pieter, jy het net wel saamgesit. Pieter, jy môre gaan jy nog dromme vat want jy 3 ander by jou huis.
Jy kom van jy. Nee, waar skien jy mos nou?
Jy sê Pieter, vertel die waarheid. Is jy nie klaar gewaarsku deur law enforcement by jou huis nie? Ja. Jou ma sê jy
nee, dit was skoonmaak, dit was skoonmaak. Was skoonmaak.
Jou ma sê jy was gewaarsku.
Asseblief, ek vra vir u wat ek prys. Ek kan môre tronk toe maar liever naantie man.
Alright, so I'm here with Mayor Geordin Lewis, a huge fan of Morning Shot, massive fan.
Hey guys.
How's it going, Geordin?
Good man.
Last time we saw you, we did a day in the life with you. But here we are in the middle of Strand. It's 8:30 at night, 9:15. You're the mayor. What on earth are we doing here?
I always answer requests from neighborhood watchers to come and join them on patrol because I really value and appreciate the unbelievable volunteer spirit that neighborhood watchers across the city give to keeping their neighborhood safe. They give hours of their time. You'll find these ladies and gents up here sometimes through the night patrolling without any financial reward just because they care for their neighborhood and they want it to be safer. And so I think the least that I can do is just come and help them when they ask me to.
How important is it for the community to actually care about where they stay? One assumes it's probably the most important.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it is the definitive factor. If there's an active neighborhood watch, that area looks better, it feels better, it's much safer, property prices are higher, schools are better, all based on active citizens. So there's just way too much petty crime for us to be everywhere. So if residents are prepared to work with us and take agency and responsibility, it makes the key defining difference.
We're in the middle of Strand. We are doing a community patrol.
In Geordin specifically.
In Geordin. What's the mischief we're trying to solve here by involving the community?
So your neighbourhood watch members are much closer to the ground than the city's municipal peace officers or law enforcement members or even SAPs. They have a far more acute understanding of the area dynamics. They're more numerous. If you take all the traffic, law enforcement, metro police and SAPs combined, and you double us, there are still not as many of us as there are of the neighbourhood watches. We have some 50,000 neighbourhood watch members in the city. Half of them, just around half of those, are formally accredited in terms of the Community Safety Act, which means Provincial Community Safety Act, which means that they've been screened, they've got probity, their fingerprints have been tested, they've been trained, they have by and large specialised equipment, and they're linked to control rooms and other stuff. So it's an increasingly organised and motivated and trained fraternity of community policing activists.
Constables, thank you very much for joining us. Constable Ross and Sergeant Thomas, thank you very much for joining us. Our deepest appreciation, gratitude, ons waardeer dit opreg vir die werk wat julle doen. We've taken a lot of details of problems that we need to follow up, and I appreciate you having us here this evening. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Chantal.
Thank you.